since, as you said, obviously law students, let's kind of get a little bit of a legal spin on this for a minute, and then we can go back to interesting stuff. You made it through Duke Law School somehow with all these things you're doing.
I graduated 3-1, middle of the class, never going to class or anything. Wait, hold on. You guys know? You guys have an attendance requirement, right?
Yeah. Some classes.
But ABA requires attendance. Okay.
Yeah.
That law was that rule was passed in 2004. Do you know what it's called? Like the people who colloquially passed it. Do you know what it's called? They call it the Tucker-Max rule. No, this story is in book 3. The story is in book 3. It is absolutely unequivocally a direct result of how I was in law school and like the fallout from the Fenwick and West incident and me writing about it, because my site went up in 2002 and the site blew up right off the bat. Like that incident, I know like one of the kids I went to law school with is on the junior whatever ABA rule panel or some shit, and he's like, dude, absolutely this law was passed because of you. We call it the Tucker-Max rule. And because there used to be no class attendance requirement, no ABA mandated, like each individual law school had their own rules. There was no law school in the top 25 that had anything sniffing at an attendance requirement. There were individual professors who might do that, but like students would be pissed off, no one would take the class. Now there's an attendance requirement because I spent an entire semester in Cancun.
Thanks a lot.
Well, it's your fault for going to law school. You still shit, right? It's your fault. That story is actually in book 3, the whole Cancun story and everything. That's in there because I didn't put it in this one because I wanted to get confirmation from my buddy, like the details of it and stuff. And I couldn't get it in time for press for this. But it's awesome. It's such a good story. Yeah, it's good. Go ahead, finish your story.
What kind of that you pretty much just answered it, but along those lines, what kind of lawsuits now have you had to deal with? I'm sure there's been a bunch. And
well, there was the Miss Vermont one,
Right.
Which I won in astounding fashion, and then there was the Anthony DeMeo one, and that was so great, man. I don't know if you, I don't know how many if you guys have studied that stuff in any of your classes or whatever, but I know I get I can tell you when. Even if I'm not paying attention, I can tell you when school starts for law school because I get floods of emails from kids. Oh, dude, we're doing your Miss Vermont case in legal writing, or we're doing the DeMeo case in internet law, whatever. Tell me about whatever. Those were both whatever, pretty cool, I guess. And you can read about those. They're on the site. I haven't really I don't get sued that much because I think people know because of my history. You come at me, you better come hard. You better be ready to go all the way because I'm not settling. I'm going to go for the juggler and I'm going to take you down. Yeah, exactly. Right. I got nothing else to do but defend my reputation. You want to come at me, that's fine, but just be ready. Yeah.
About paternity suits, you've been forced to do a bunch of those?
No, I have not. I have not because, dude, I got a big flight of stairs in my place that I'm just kidding. I mean, perfect. Dude, I haven't had money for that long. I've had money for about 2 or 3 years. And so, in 2004, 2005, a girl got knocked up by me. Like, what are you going to, you want half my shirt? It's not going to feed the kid. So that was not a problem. Plus, I'm pretty good at reading people, pretty good at figuring out, okay, this girl is looking for something, and so it's not that hard, and condoms usually work, and shooting on the girl's face usually works. It's tough to get pregnant through your nose.
So you mentioned as you put it in this latest book, Bangladeshi Poor, was there any good aspect to not having any money that made life simple and enjoyable?
Simple and enjoyable? No, dude. Listen. All the fucking bullshit about simplicity of life is shit you get to after you've had a lot. When you're fucking poor and you can't eat, simplicity is not what you want. You want fucking food, dude. And Bunny and I lived together when I was at the point where I was basically stealing food. You can ask her. This was, it's a cool memory in that not a cool memory. It's a cool thing in that you turn iron into steel by setting it in the fire and hitting it. Sometimes you have to go through these things to get to sort of a place you want to be. You have to go, trial by fire. You have to go through tests. You have to, that's how you become confident, is by accomplishing shit. And you go through something like that, you can do it. But when you're going through it, it fucking sucks, dude. It's not fun. It sucks. It's not like I'm sitting there thinking, there was never a moment where you know, how are we going to eat today? And we're like, well, it's okay. This will make us stronger. Fuck no, dude. Fuck no. That's not fun at all in any way. You can turn adversity to an advantage, but it's still adversity when you're going through it. And you still got to fight it when you're going through it.
Right.
You know? So, yeah.
I imagine you may have got this question before, but NPH's character Barney from How I Met Your Mother. Are you familiar?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right.
Have you have been asked about a correlation between?
I mean,
his
dude, if you
character-
think that guy is anything like me, you're a fucking moron. No,
His
seriously.
character
You have
in the show?
completely misread everything about the book and me if you think there's really any resemblance between. I mean, like, there's this type of surface. It's like saying, you know, how similar are you to whatever? How similar are you to Gordon Gekko because you have fancy shoes and you like to fucking look smarmy? You know? Come on, dude. I mean,
That was
there's
submitted
just
from
no.
the crowd.
There's just no.
I won't name them.
No, that's I mean, there's just no. There's no. It's like people ask me, you know, so tell me how, you know, which books of Hunter S. Thompson's are most influential. I haven't read any, so none of them. You know, people make stupid assumptions, and that I aside from the show sucking, I mean, the show gets great ratings because everyone who watches it over 60. Like, that's what everyone who watches CBS. But I don't. Like, it makes no sense to me. I mean, that guy is like, he's like Tom Likas skeevy, and that's just so opposite of everything I am. I don't know. Go ahead.
Let's see what else you got. All right, so you said you're newly rich now. So what was your first big purchase once you were rich?
What's the first thing we bought?
Everybody else always says I bought my mother a house, but I know that's going to be your answer. Was it the range?
Around and basics, actually. We were so poor for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah, basics, I guess. No, I guess the big purchase was first big. One good thing about having an education and being poor for a while is that I didn't go in my bling squirrel and pussy spree, you know, like I didn't go like Antoine Walker dropping like 25K at a whatever trap stable and shit. Like I mean, look, nothing. I mean, this is not expensive shit I'm wearing, dude. Like I don't have any this shit. Like I have a Range Rover now, whatever. It's not a very expensive car. I bought her a car, Erin, because like, I mean, we're not dating, we're best friends, but she's been like basically my writing partner and muse for as long as I can remember. So she got a car, I got a car. I don't know. She gets organic kibble. No shit. But I don't know. I mean, this stuff, to me, money is just a means to. I've always valued experiences more than stuff. Like the only stuff I have in my life I care about are my dog and my books. My apartment is like 1,500 books. I care about, because the books to me represent sort of knowledge being power and knowledge being effectiveness, and like if you know something, it doesn't matter what they take from you, they can't take that. And you can always beat the system if you have enough knowledge. And so like that's what books have always represented to me. And so I have a great backed up list, you know, of my entire bibliography of all the books, everything. So even if the books all burned, I could buy them all again, you know? So even the physical copies of the books themselves are just a representation of an idea to me. Everything else in my life is basically something that facilitates an experience. Like, we went on a vacation. I went to Renaissance. I got invited to Renaissance Weekend, which is like, I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like TED or Davos, but for like rich people in politics. I don't know how I got invited, dude. It was some wires got crossed. But so we took a long vacation, me, Bunny, and Murph. I took her with me because I didn't want to take some dumb skank, and I didn't know who else to take, and she wanted to go. So she'd never seen these people up close.
Not because
So.
you like her. It was
Ouch.
No, that's not
No other reason.
It was so.
No, that's a separate we can't get on that road. That's a separate conversation.
Learning experience.
But the vacation was awesome because, like, you know, we went and stayed like these fun places, stayed in nice hotels, like ate great meals. Like that's what I spend my money on, is stuff that creates fun experiences. So we can, you know, be like, remember, I mean, the best meal I think I've ever had in my life, either of us. We went to Charlie Trotter's in Vegas, and it was like $750. You know, we got the whole grand tasting menu and wine pairings. It was like $750 for 2 of us with tip. But it was so amazing. It was so amazing. Bunny took the fucking menu home and framed it. And she like looks at it sometimes. She's like, she'll call me and look, remember the Muscovy duck? Yes, I remember the Muscovy duck. Yeah, so like that's what I spend my money on. Because whatever, objects are just objects. I know I sound like the fucking Buddha or something.
Right. I've got a short list of questions that can be answered pretty quickly, so I'm just gonna shoot them out. So what girls are you into? Blonde or brunette, tits or ass, tall or short, and then 3 people in this room, very, marry, fucking why?
I mean, hot knows no boundaries, dude. Black, white, tall, short. I don't really have a type. Although the last 2 girls I've kind of dated have been dark-haired nurses who were super sweet with big fake tits. So maybe I'm falling into a rut. I don't know. Wait, so what's the second one?
3 people in this room, very, marry, fuck, and why?
Very Mary?
Very, marry, and fuck.
Bury, marry. I thought it was kill, marry, fuck, isn't it? Same thing. Bury, marry, fuck. Barry? Well, Barney Stimson over here is on my shit list. So he's Barry. Mary? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I have to marry, I only know fucking these 2, so obviously I'm going to marry either Brittany or Bunny. Probably Bunny because Brittany likes black guys, and so it'd be a bad marriage. And then fuck? Do I have to pick one? There's some hot girls in here.
You gotta pick one. Point her out.
I don't know. I mean, I want a threesome with these 2, I think. Not to, because I'll take you guys too. I don't mean to be exclusionary here. Yeah.
So you talk a lot about experiences then being so important to you. So now what's your biggest regret, your best experience, and then looking forward, what's the one thing you haven't done that you still want to?
Biggest regret? I got so many regrets. I don't know. I wouldn't begin to know how to answer that question.
Training?
What?
What?
I didn't hear what you said.
Training?
Training?
Transvestite.
Nah. The jury's still out, dude. I get a lot of no, I swear to God, I get a lot of email from either post and pre-op trannies, and like they're split. Like some like totally a tranny, totally not a tranny. You know, and then there's the part who are like, what does it matter? It's how she defines herself. I'm shut the fuck up. No, that's not what we're talking about.
Well, then what haven't you done yet that you still want to do? I know
Not
you've done a whole lot.
You mean like party, fun, sexual stuff? Or?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you know, triplets aren't on your sexual to-do list, so I mean, you can think about that.
Yeah, the sexual to-do list is basically done. It's closed, whatever. The one thing that I guess, we can put 2 together. I regret never being in the situation where I could hook up with a Siamese twin, because I feel like, because that's some shit that's like, I mean, you can meet people who've like hooked up with midgets, whatever. No one has the almost no one has the combinations that I have, but that's one, like, come on, like, fuck you, no one's getting that shit. Like, that's almost magic. That's shit that almost doesn't exist, you know? So that would be some shit. Like that would, biggest regret is that never happened. No, the reason the reason I even took them off the list is because I actually did, I think I wrote about this in the book, I'm not sure. I actually did research. There's only like 12 sets of female Siamese twins in the world, and they're all fucked up and hideously deformed, dude. Like, do you see the ones on Knit Talk that are all like, I feel like these girls have been dealt such a shitty hand in life. They don't really need me sexually pursuing them, you know? Like, it's not, no. If they read the book and want to come at me, then we can have a conversation, but they don't need me going after them.
I thought it was funny how you drew the line between character defect and wanting to cross something off your sexual to-do list. There was only so far that you would actually go to seek out the Siamese twins.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I mean, I don't need to make someone's life shittier in that way, dude. They already have enough to deal with.
So would you, if you were a Duke now, do you think you would have made it a goal to get on Karen Owen's list?
Have you seen a picture of her?
Yes.
She's like totally plain and dumpy, dude. Like that's not a goal. I don't. It's so funny reading that. I did a whole 30 fucking minute interview with Nightline about this, and it was on, and they used like the 5 minutes that I wasn't talking about her, and the whole thing was supposed to be about her, but whatever. I don't care. Welcome to media.
This was the fuck list of Duke, by the way.
Yeah. Here's I got kind of a twofold take on that. One is that she didn't write this for public consumption. This is essentially a diary entry, so I think it's very unfair to look at this in any way other than we probably weren't supposed to see this, you know? And I think it's pretty clear that's the case. I mean, she's gone into hiding, she hasn't taken any deals, so it's obvious that like she intended for her friends to see this, and there aren't many people on earth who will act the same in public that they will in private. Like, I'm one of them, but I'm kind of fucking weird, and so you can't really hold her and her writing to that standard. But the other thing is, if you see a picture of her, it changes everything. And she's not ugly at all. I mean, she's a very, like, kind of plain, normal-looking Duke girl. And every interaction she has with these guys, it's so unself-aware. You know, it's like, she's like, I was walking in the hallway, and the guy looked at me, and I looked at him, and I could feel the chemistry, and then we saw at the party, and blah, blah, blah. And then and he fucked me, and then he didn't want to talk to me anymore, and I don't understand, so, you know, I'm taking points off for that. And I'm like, honey, do you not understand what was going on here? Like, he was using you as a cum dumpster because he's a guy. Like, it has nothing I mean, it's like she was totally aware of, like, what was going on in a weird, clinical, sociopathic way, but totally unself-aware of her own role in it and how these people saw her. And I don't know, it's almost depressing. It wasn't funny reading to me, it was almost depressing because it was like this girl had no idea what was going on in her own life, but thought she did, you know? And it's like, not that I know everything. I mean, I read the shit I wrote at that age and it was just as fucking unself-aware, so I'm not trying to say that I was any different than her, but it's almost painful to read because it's like this poor girl, she has no clue what's going on in her own life. But
You've talked a lot in person today about the three of you and how you go back and have these bonds and relationships.
I've only known Brittany for a year. She's just my tour assistant. Bunny I've known for like 8 years, 9 years.
So in regard to your management team, have you gone through a lot of individuals? Do you keep a fairly tight group?
I'm my management team, dude. If I meet an agent or a lawyer who's smarter than me and knows his shit better than me, then I'll fucking pay him 10%. But until then, no, I don't. Man, media is... You guys are going into sports. Well, there's about one job for every 200 of you, so you're not going into the field you think you are. But that field, sports and entertainment are very similar, dude. You don't want to know how the sausage gets made, dude. It's fucked up and it's awful and it's exploitive in a way that you think you understand, but you don't understand. It's terrible. Like it's not a coincidence that every rapper who's dealt with Hollywood has some version of "fuck Hollywood" or "burn Hollywood, burn" song. Like these guys don't all get together and decide they're gonna shit on Hollywood. It's not a coincidence. It's a fucked up, terrible entertainment business. The way it's run is fucked up and terrible in this country, and sports is not much better. I don't know.
You feel overworked because you don't have enough people around you doing anything?
No, I just do the shit I want to do and don't do more. I mean, I'm at the point in my life, like I don't have a plane, but I have enough money that I can say fuck you before I hang up the phone. So that's fuck you money, is if you say fuck you before you hang up the phone. And I can't. And I'm going to be collecting royalty checks for the next 20 years off these books. I don't have to worry about this shit. I don't have to take anyone's dick in my ass. I don't have to fucking take anyone's boot on my neck. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do, which was kind of like the goal of my life from day one. I'm going to live my life the way I want to. Hell or high water, no matter what path it is, that's what I'm going to do. And if you want to work in the system, you can't have that attitude. The system will kick you out. Like it did with me. I got fired from my fucking own father fired me from the family business. I mean, there's certain attitudes that don't work if you want to be in the machine. Mine